you were quoted in the papers in the aftermath the story which broke in the UK yesterday, which was that the English, Scottish and Northern Irish football associations have banned heading for under 12s in training sessions. I think your take is that the FAI at the moment, putting on your FAI hat, is monitoring the situation and assessing it.
Yeah, very closely and ready to react. The follow-up will come once we're happy it's the right thing to do. You know, we don't just have a chain reaction, and so we'll look at it and we will follow probably orders, as it were. You know, we've already contacted UEFA, who have said virtually what we're saying. We're monitoring it. We'll come up with a policy very quickly on this, and it is important. You know, when you look at what happened in the study that took place in Scotland, I think when you say, you know, professional footballers who headed the ball a lot are 3.5 more times likely to suffer from Alzheimer's and illnesses like that. I mean, I personally get worried about it. Nobody practiced heading as much as I did, and I started off very young. So I would take heed of it. I'm very, very aware of it. I hope I'm okay. It's very selfishly, but I hope players who played in my era are okay. It always appears to be guys 20 years old, you know, but they're going to be coming around soon. So very, very mindful of it. And the second we feel it's the correct thing to do, we'll introduce it.
Is it something that former players have been sort of discussing among themselves, like as more and more cases have become evident?
I think so. You know, when you actually feel it happening and you're not sure about it is one thing, but I think that the bit that got us all was the study that said 3.5 more times likely than anybody else who goes to work in an office every day. That kind of tells you that there's something there. But then a lot of players would have suffered concussions as well. I think, you know, which may have been clashes of heads. So either way, I would actually, despite loving and enjoying heading the ball as an art and practicing it every day, the greatest credit I've taken in my football career was Arsene Wenger saying, I pass the ball with my head, I don't head it. And I took that as a compliment. Everybody else laughed, but I actually took it as a compliment.
Graham, what do you make of, some people will say on the other side that, look, heading is a fundamental part of football. You know, you got to train it, you got to get kids to practice it so that they'll be able to execute it on the field.
At what age you start to allow them to head the ball? And I'd be all for a ban. I think they're saying at 12 years old. And then after training, you can't head it in training, and after that, you allow them to head the ball in games. I mean, the way the modern game has evolved, a lot of it is, more of it is on the ground now than ever before. And there's obviously something going on with it, because I mean, I'm a generation in front of Niall, and I meet players that I've played against, played with, and some of them are showing signs of it. So there's definitely something to do with football.
Do you agree with that, Brian? That's an inevitability about this?
I think we've got to wait until the medical evidence is produced that tells us that the heading of the ball at younger age groups.
Is that not the
I think
the findings in
they haven't exactly found it. They feel there could be a link, and it's been monitored. But rather than take any chances, the first associations have come out at that point. We've gone back to UEFA to ask guidance on it.
Jeff Astle's family, the old West Brom centre forward, and they've been going at it for it must be the best part of a decade.
Well, Chris Sutton has been involved in the campaign as well in relation to it. And, you know, I think it's something that's only really come around recently because of what's going on in American sport.
But it's not, Brian. Jeff Astle's family have been pursuing the PFA.
No, I meant in the sense of the medical evidence and people looking at and trying to find some evidence that there is a problem there.
They're not medically certain.
Yeah.
See, you go back. It wasn't so much at Liverpool, but other clubs I worked at. You know, after a training session, they'd have the defence, back four on the 18-yard box. The other guys would have the balls in a halfway line and they're firing the balls into them. And you know, if you think you're just flighting the ball into them, if you were doing that twice a week, 42 weeks a year, over 12 to 15 years, that's a lot of headed balls, isn't it? And again, going back, the balls were different then to they are now, a lot heavier.
Especially if the apprentice pumps them up too heavy. Yeah. I can remember that happening a few times. You get them afterwards.
Or the days when they used to get steeped in water before the match as well.
Not that old.
There were certain accusations made about.
Not talking about the balls with the laces.